Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, everyone. It is May 25th, 2018. Is the government building secret tunnels under America to prepare for World War III? Could be, but I am doubtful. I'm very skeptical about a nuclear war happening. And the reason is very simple. Because a nuclear war would cause hellish conditions on the face of this planet. And those ruling class people would remain behind in this hellish world that they've created. That's not to say it's impossible, but it just doesn't seem likely for that reason. These people have to breathe the air. They have to deal with the environment they create just like we do. Albeit much less, but still, they would be creating hellish conditions for themselves along with everyone else. So I don't think the fear of nuclear war is really rational. But, you know, that's not to say it could never happen. So apparently, the trumpet sounds and mysterious booms have resurfaced, if they ever left at all. And it is making people afraid. Poor, poor people. Afraid. Scared. So, mysterious booms and strange lights have been reported all over the country and have recently sparked fears that the U.S. government is building tunnels underground in preparation for a potential nuclear Third World War. And there's no doubt that these tunnels exist. No doubt at all. There's many, many videos out there of truckers and other people questioning truckers right at the mouth of these tunnels. So they do exist. But are they for a Third World War? Residents are convinced they're hearing sounds and seeing odd lights, and they are not isolated events. And they're not. These lights and sounds have been heard all over the planet. One man in Cincinnati caught the lights on his camera and was even able to capture his son's reaction. Check it out. And keep in mind that there was no rain or thunderstorms going on that night. It was a clear sky, more or less. And, of course, the sheeple says the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department needs to do something about this. What the fuck are they going to do? What kind of retarded statement is that? Anyway. Kimberly Kempke, a concerned resident from Anderson Township in Cincinnati, is convinced that the sounds she heard earlier this week were more than fireworks. The sounds were like true booms. They sounded like a powerful explosion, she said. It's unlike anything I've ever seen or felt before, and I've been up very close with fireworks many times. Well, who the fuck ever said it was fireworks? Bert. Yeah, it sounds pretty crazy, doesn't it? But still, fear. What good does it do to be afraid? It does none whatsoever. So, according to the Daily Star YouTube channel, Secure Team 10, and by the way, that's a very good channel. If you like knowing the latest, I won't call them extraterrestrial events, but interdimensional events. It's an excellent channel to check out. Secure Team 10. And it is run by Tyler Glockner. Claims that the unexplainable sounds are coming from underground. Well, there's just no evidence that says that these things are coming from underground. They could be coming from the sky. He also revealed that just days ago, a seismograph recorded something moving from the east coast to the west coast, and of course I covered this as well, of the U.S. in just 19 seconds. And that is incredible, people. Incredible. And since he has uploaded it, viewers have been quick to speculate that something is secretly going on below the surface. Get it past that damn intro.
Being heard across Phoenix and other parts of Arizona. This is just now breaking, and I'll post a link to this on one of the news websites from Fox 10 down in the video description. But according to reports, a noise of an unknown origin is being reported across the valley to North Scottsdale, to Mesa, and all over Phoenix, really.
Okay, so this isn't just going on in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's going on in Arizona as well. And there are numerous videos out there demonstrating these flashes of light and noise. Only last month, mysterious trumpet sounds in New York left residents convinced a secret tunneling program had commenced. And before that, we saw similar scenes in Ohio. The odd booms have been heard in Pennsylvania too, and even triggered an FBI investigation. The booms seem to be returning en masse. Most sound metallic in nature, almost as if a giant machine is doing something or a large piece of sheet metal is being hammered. Listen to them all yourself and see what you think. Is the government building secret shelters underground to protect the elites in preparation for World War III? Or could it be something else? In the video below, the narrator speculates that it could be a massive earthquake of apocalyptic proportions coming. And I think I would agree with that assessment a lot sooner than I would agree that it's tunnels being bored. All we really know is that no government agency is clarifying what could possibly be causing these lights and booms to pop up and be heard across the country. All we have is speculation at this point. But you can prepare yourself. Besides, if the government is really building underground bunkers and tunnels to protect themselves from an apocalyptic situation, shouldn't you be prepared too? Now, many governments across the planet, specifically the Russian government, they have taken measures to save their citizens, as many as possible. The American government has taken measures to save themselves and the super rich. And that's it. The government's plan to survive nuclear war doesn't include you. There won't be enough bulldozers to scrape the bodies off the street. As they were building these bunkers and trying to convince Americans that nuclear war could be easily survivable, behind the scenes they knew it would be a bloodbath for civilians. SHTFplan.com, when it hits the fan, don't say we didn't warn you. I'm not going to stop here. There's another one. This one, too, is by Max Slavo, and we are still here at SHTFplan.com. Here's how the government will calm you, the public, if a nuclear attack occurs. So they've already prepared some scripts to use on the terrified public should the United States ever be attacked with a nuclear weapon. The U.S. government prepares for all sorts of threats, but none match the pomp and circumstance they'll display in the event of a nuclear explosion. Prepared scripts for many disaster scenarios are already written, ranging from biowarfare to chemical weapons to volcanoes and wildfires. The good news is that the Cold War is over and a limited nuclear strike or a terrorist attack can be survivable, a direct hit notwithstanding, of course. The bad news is that the government's plans for survival don't really include you anyway. Couple that with a new arms race, which is already underway, albeit shrouded in secrecy, and one that may add a small portable nuclear weapon to the global stockpile. Lawmakers and experts fear such tactical or battlefield-ready devices and their parts may be easier for terrorists to obtain via theft or sale. And even a small nuclear weapon on the ground can create a stadium-sized fireball, unleash a city-crippling blast wave, and sprinkling radioactive fallout hundreds of miles away. In this case, it's important to be prepared for the scenario, even if it's unlikely to play out. According to Business Insider, a nuclear terrorist attack of this magnitude is one of 15 major disaster scenarios planned for by FEMA and other U.S. agencies. And the same scenarios also includes a dirty bomb explosion, although this event would be dramatically less harmful. As part of the planning effort, the Environmental Protection Agency maintains a scenario of a series of manuals about how state and local governments should respond. A comparison document anticipates 99 likely questions during a radiation emergency and scripted messages that officials could copy or adapt. Ideally, these messages never will be needed. The EPA says its messaging document, nevertheless, we have a responsibility to be prepared to empower the public by effectively communicating how people can protect themselves and their families in the event of a radiological or nuclear emergency. Here's an example of what the government will tell people to try to prevent widespread panic. Lives have been lost, people have been injured, and homes and businesses have been destroyed. All levels of government are coordinating their efforts to do everything possible to help the people affected by this emergency. As life-saving activities continue, follow the instructions from emergency responders. The instructions are based on the best information we have right now. The instructions will be updated as more information becomes available. So basically, they demand you follow their orders. Nothing out of the ordinary for the government. Comply and do what we say. This is why so many prepare in advance for a wide array of scenarios. That way, they don't have to obey and comply with orders or go to a FEMA camp just to survive. There's more. And all the links will be in the description box. And I'm not going to cover the entire thing. Just point it out right quick. The big one is a threat to those who don't even live in California. A massive earthquake many are calling the big one, is overdue to strike California, either on or along the San Andreas fault line or the Hayward Bay fault line. I would say if it's going to be a major giant earthquake, it would probably be both. But this earthquake is still a threat to even those who don't live in the Golden State. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because the government clearly expects something. What is that something? It's hard to say. But we can say with certainty that they are expecting something. They have been expecting something, and they've been drilling for this something for years now. What is it? What could it be? Is it Planet X? Is it some other space event that we don't know about? What is it? I guess I will leave that for you to figure out. And so, until next time, kill the state before the state kills you.